A sign of trouble on the horizon. This is the view of North Sinai from Gaza. Hours of intense clashes between Egyptian security forces and Islamic State have left dozens of combatants and civilians dead. Simultaneous raids were launched on military checkpoints and a police station. It's one of the largest coordinated assaults yet by militants in the Sinai. The area has become a key battleground for Egypt, but what happens in the strategically important peninsula is also a concern for Egypt's neighbours.
We see ISIS at the gates, across the border in the Golan, across the border in Egypt. We send our condolences to the government and people of Egypt for the fallen Egyptians slayed by ISIS terror. We must stand up to all the forces of militant Islam, those led by Iran, those led by ISIS.
These are the militants behind the attacks. They pledged allegiance to IS in November, rebranding themselves the Sinai province of Islamic State. Experts say their numbers are growing steadily and their attacks becoming more sophisticated. Earlier this week, a car bomb attack in Cairo killed a high-profile public prosecutor. Analysts say the assassination bore the hallmarks of Sinai province militants. At the funeral, the president promised legal reforms to ensure death sentences could be enforced more swiftly for those convicted of acts of terrorism. North Sinai has been under a state of emergency and a curfew since October, after an attack killed dozens of soldiers. The army has stepped up its presence along the border with Gaza. A buffer zone has been created. Communities and homes destroyed in a bid to find underground tunnels. The military says they're being used to smuggle weapons in from the Palestinian enclave. Despite this, the army has yet to uproot the militants, and the intensification of this week's attacks show there's still a long battle ahead. Tim Nielsen, BBC News.